All right, well, good afternoon and welcome to Lichtsinn RV, where we literally are only one mile north of the Winnebago, Itasca, and Winnebago Touring Coach Division of Winnebago Industries right here in Forest City, Iowa. We're broadcasting live today inside our marketing studio in front of the all-new 2017 Winnebago Touring Coach Paseo. This is the 48P floor plan that we're going to cover today. I want to welcome all of you to today's live monthly webcast. I also want to welcome Heidi Thompson. Heidi is our Vice President and General Manager here at the dealership, as well as Jeffrey Short. He is our Special Events and Marketing Director behind the camera today. As Nicole Lovick mentioned, one of the things that makes these webcasts so informative and value added for you, our guest, is for the ability for us to cover your questions live as we walk you through the all-new Paseo. And I know that we already have a lot of questions.
We do.
Today we're going to actually try to cover questions primarily because we have so much rich content directly on our website. On the actual vehicle listings page for the Paseo, we have a wonderful 40-minute high-definition video that Jeffrey put together on the new Paseo. So there's already a lot of fact and data inside that vehicle listing page, so we really want to cover the things that are important to you, our guests. I also want to thank Don and Linda, who are actually watching live as they make their route from San Diego, California. Our first Paseo arrived earlier last week, and Don and Linda purchased this vehicle, and they'll be taking delivery of it on Friday. So they're coming from San Diego, California, right here to the Heartland in Forest City, Iowa, to take delivery of their new Paseo, which is what most of our guests do. As you can see from some of our map data that we have on our website, we help guests throughout the entire North America region and throughout the world, helping them with Winnebago RVs. So we want to thank Don and Linda for allowing us to utilize their Paseo in today's live monthly webcast, and certainly wish you a safe journey coming to Forest City Friday of this week. So also want to remind you, we can actually do this type of a live interactive presentation in a split second. Any of our factory trained consultants can go live in a heartbeat to be able to cover anything that's important to you on any of our in-stock RVs. We can do that from the comfort of your own home or office. We can conference in a partner or a spouse for a wonderful three-way in which we can actually walk you through whatever information is relative to you on any of our in-stock RVs. So let's start off with some of the questions to make sure that we cover everything that's important to you. I know Heidi said we already have a half dozen or so questions.
We do. They would like, our first question is just kind of providing an overview and a comparison to the Coachman CrossFit model. Okay. That has also been coming out, and then just a few, as we go through, I'll just list them and then you can make sure you cover them, and if you don't, I'll let you know. Is there a convection option? They want just some explanation of how a compressor refrigerator works, what powers the Truma Combi in this unit, and just wondering about some weights and CCC questions. Awesome.
Okay, so I'm going to cover those questions, but again, if there is something that I'm covering that is important to you, just chat in your question. Heidi will interrupt us as we go, and we'll make certain we cover everything that's relative to you on the Paseo. So Heidi's first question that came in from one of our guests, and thank you for that question, was a comparison to the Coachman CrossFit. Now, to our knowledge right now, there is only one other competitor in the Paseo gasoline-powered B-van RV space right now, and it's the Coachman CrossFit. We went through that model at the National RV Trade Show in Louisville, Kentucky, and covered that vehicle in detail. We'll also be developing a competitive analysis in which we'll do a video comparing the Paseo to the CrossFit. A couple of significant differences, though, between the Paseo and the CrossFit, and the first lies in the underlying powertrain. So Winnebago uses the 3.5-liter EcoBoost gasoline-powered chassis from Ford Transit. What's unique about it is that it is the EcoBoost with the dual overhead cam and dual turbochargers. And what that means for you is that this coach will have 400 pounds-feet of torque or power, which is actually 54% more power than the smaller engine that's being used in the Coachman CrossFit. They're actually using a non-turbo version of the EcoBoost lineup from Ford Transit. So again, it's going to be 54% less powerful than the Paseo. Will make a difference, certainly. I'm sure they're going to eventually come out with a 5,000-pound hitch in the CrossFit. The Paseo does have a 5,000-pound factory-installed tow package with a 500-pound vertical tongue weight. The other thing that is unique to the Paseo is the exclusivity that we have with the all-new Summit luggage rack system up on the roof, as well as the rear ladder. And that's an aluminum luggage rack that we'll cover as you've seen us do in the past. We'll actually elevate up and show you everything that's up on the roof. Heidi also mentioned wanting to know whether or not the Paseo actually had a microwave and convection oven. We'll cover that as we get inside. It's also on our video that we have on our actual vehicle listings page. The Paseo does have a microwave and convection oven, so that's going to allow you to bake, brown, and roast just like a normal oven, but it's going to free up all that storage inside the galley. The floor plans between the two are very, very similar. Obviously, the Paseo came out first, and the Coachman CrossFit was kind of a knockoff of the Paseo. The other thing that's unique, exclusive to the chassis, is Winnebago invests in using the Ford Sync 3 system. So that's going to have the Ford Sync app. It's going to have all the connectivity with the GPS unit. It's going to have Sirius XM satellite radio that comes with a free complimentary subscription. It's going to have a larger capacitive style touchscreen. And the Coachman CrossFit actually uses an aftermarket third-party radio, which is a Kenwood version. You'll also see some other subtle differences. The step-in area is a little bit more fluid in the Paseo, we found, compared to the Coachman CrossFit. And then Jeffrey, actually, if you can just stay in that area and show the step-in area inside the main screen door area. What you're also going to find is the step-in area into the oversized bath and one is much lower in the Winnebago Paseo compared to the Coachman CrossFit. Winnebago actually develops this shower surround exclusively in-house, and so we can take advantage of that computer-aided design to maximize interior storage, maximize the size of your shower, lower that step-in height while still keeping all the areas outside of that bath and one dry and secure. The other thing that you're going to find is utilizing that computer-aided design, we're able to push that shower area much closer to the driver's chair, which is going to provide a larger shower area, a larger wardrobe closet, and then also a larger area for that compressor-driven refrigerator and freezer. This area right here, the Coachman CrossFit also does not have this pull-out, flip-up table, which provides a nice workstation for the passenger seat that rotates to become an integral living component and a nice computer workstation there. And Heidi, you were with us at Louisville. What did I miss?
I think you hit it. The entry door is a big deal, big difference.
Yeah, the step-in area is much different in the Coachman CrossFit. There's actually 3 different steps in this area. Both models, from our understanding, are going to be extended season RVs from the standpoint that all of the freshwater systems and all of your water lines are enclosed within the B-van itself. This coach also then adds the heated drainage option, which allows you to drain those tanks in sub-freezing temperature. So I think that is a pretty good overview of the Coachman CrossFit, but again, watch for our competitive video that we're going to be publishing next month that compares the Winnebago Paseo to the Coachman CrossFit. But again, fundamental powertrain and core amenities I think are some pretty substantial differences between the Paseo and the CrossFit. We answered the question that yes, this does have a microwave and convection oven, so that'll allow you to function that like an oven and free up all that drawer stack space. One of the questions that came in was touching on the compressor-driven fridge. So this is an oversized NovaCool 5.5 cubic feet refrigerator and freezer. It's a compressor-driven refrigerator. And Jeffrey, if you just want to showcase that real quickly, we can step inside. So this is a refrigerator and freezer. It's the oversized compressor-driven refrigerator and freezer. Nice lower depth for the freezer components. The question was, how does it function? So this functions off of either 110 volt electricity or directly off of your DC batteries. And so what's nice about that is this will function off of the dual AGM absorbed glass mat batteries or electricity, and it will do that fluently, just seamlessly going between 110 volt and DC. Works great in conjunction with the 100 watt ZAMP solar system that is equipped on this RV that we'll cover as we get up on top of the roof. Did I cover that?
You did.
So hopefully that covers most of those questions. I know one of the questions that came was on the Truma Combi. What powers the Truma Combi system? So the Truma Combi system is a combined appliance that provides continuous unlimited hot water, but also your primary heat source. It functions off of 110 volt electricity, or it functions off of LP, and it can actually also function with a combination of the two to provide a boost if you're taking multiple hot showers or if you need warmer weather inside. So functions off of LP and 110 volt electricity.
We have a few of our favorite questions for Ron. That's always when he has to get in and test things. Or we're going to cover something else. I forgot
one. Weights and measures. One of our guests wanted to know weights and measures, so I'll just cover those real quickly. 10,360 pound gross vehicle weight rating chassis, which means it's the larger chassis, but it also translates into 1,940 pounds of cargo carrying capacity. So in that 1,940 pounds is where you would deduct your water weight, your cargo, and your people. So a tremendous amount of cargo carrying capacity in the Paseo with 1,940 pounds.
And really nice functional storage.
Yep.
Good spacing. So they want to see the bath door operate.
Okay.
And then can a 6-foot person or what,
Perfect.
5'11", comfortably sleep in the crosswise bed?
So that seems like a setup, which then allows me to ask you to go grab Jason or Reed, and they can set up the bed while I show the shower.
I'll do it.
How does that sound? Okay, so one of the questions was wanting to use the shower door. I am actually 6 feet, so I'm guessing that may have been a setup, but we can certainly show you how to sleep in that bed, and you're going to want to sleep cross longitudinally. So this is the bath in one. This is the sliding tambour door. Plenty of head clearance inside the bath. Hopefully the next question is not to use the toilet, because obviously Don and Linda wouldn't be happy with that. The sliding door just very simply slides and closes. So very fluid operation, tremendous amount of headroom, and a nice lower step-in height. So on that cue, I would like to welcome Reed Burkholder. Reed is a factory-trained consultant here at Lichtsinn RV, and he is actually a little bit taller than I am. And so Reed has just actually set up the bed in the 48P.
How tall are you, Reed?
6'3".
And Reed is a Vikings fan, as you can tell from his phone going off. So Reed, if you slide over, I'll join you, since I'm 6 feet. Okay, so what other questions do we have? A couple things while we're back here that we can cover. Again, a 5,000 pound factory installed tow package. This coach does actually have a spare tire up underneath. We have a quick connect towards the rear for an LPG hookup. Great storage, not only underneath each of the cushions. Underneath this location is where the Truma Combi houses. Nice pass-through storage here with also access right where Reed's feet are. So you actually have storage in that hatch, storage all the way through, and storage here as well.
We have had some questions just in the last week on this unit for sewer hose storage and additional equipment in terms of what's in the back.
Yep. So towards the rear, you do have the outside shower that does include the quick connect with the coiled hose that you can see here. It does have the jack tools, and then in this location is also where your freshwater tank is, which also houses the 12-volt on-demand water pump switch.
And we do have sewer hose storage, right?
Yep.
Undercarriage.
Reed, I'll swap that with you, and we'll continue to utilize you, and you can show them the sewer hose carrier.
Just right underneath.
Chassis right here. So what Reed's pointing out is that sewer hose carrier, which might seem trivial, but it's a big deal from the standpoint that where do you actually place a sewer hose that you don't actually want to jump into your freshwater system. So a very well thought out add to the Paseo from Winnebago's team.
I think if we could review solar and solar options with this unit.
Awesome. Okay, so one of the things that's unique to this coach is this does have the new Summit systems, luggage rack and rear ladder. And what's unique about that is that the rear ladder anchors into the rear door, but it also then includes the multi-point attachments. So you can have the ladder included on this location, and you can slide it all the way up and down the rails up at the top. So it provides a lot more flexibility for adding cargo, kayak racks, If you do decide to add additional solar and do it yourself with the quick port plug and play from the ZAMP system, you can actually move this ladder all the way around the RV. And it's a very lightweight but a very sturdy aluminum extruded ladder. And you can also see each of the attachment points actually is made out of a material that's not going to scratch. So you can include this ladder in multiple different location points throughout the RV and utilize it all the way around, as opposed to just one single spot that we used to have with the Fiamma system. So again, this is the new Summit system that we're utilizing. Then the rear ladder anchors into the rear door and secures into this screw type attachment.
And then in terms of affixing kayaks, if you're doing that or other storage units, there are kits available that allow you to tie onto that rack system. And because you can get up there so much easier, it really becomes good storage for people.
Yeah, so if you're looking for additional cross members, or if you want different customized attachment points for kayak racks, for storage carriers, or for solar, we can help you out with all those different types of things. A very, very flexible system that we're utilizing.
So 2 new questions just in terms of the sewer hose carrier. Wondering if that will accommodate a Rhino 10-foot hose, which it is a long carrier. Some of your bends and maybe more complicated attachments that you have for a sewer hose may have to go somewhere else. It is a straight tube, but
correct. Yeah, so some of the elbows won't necessarily work, but a straight acting hose certainly will.
And then just generally wondering, is there anything unique or new for cab conveniences with this Transit?
So again, it does have the Ford Sync 3 system. We'll jump up into the cockpit real quick and cover that question. One thing that is a little bit unique to the Ford Transit setup is this is the new Easy Fuel system. So we actually don't even have a gas cap anymore. If any of you own a Ford vehicle, you've seen this before. It's very simply a push button depress. You put the nozzle in and there literally is no fuel cap. This locks into place then when we close the door. So up front in the cockpit, we do have the Ford Sync 3 system, which not only includes the navigation system, the Bluetooth connectivity. We do have a tilt and telescoping steering wheel. So the steering column does tilt and it also scopes, which in longer trips will provide more of a fatigueless stress on your upper shoulders. We do have the 12-volt battery boost switch. Dual front airbags, integrated cup holders. We do have the rear view camera monitoring system, which is tied into the rear door on this vehicle. Multiple 12-volt power points, and then also USB connectivity in addition to the Bluetooth connectivity for the Ford Sync 3 system. I actually use an OnStar app system. I use my app a lot on my phone, and with the Ford Sync system, it provides some great connectivity for smartphone and tablet users.
Just going back to solar, how much solar do we think can be installed up top?
Yep. So let's head back up to the roof, but before we do that, you'll see the side assist steps that are included on the RV. The other thing that is unique to this, and I may need to shoot to demonstrate this, it does have undercarriage lighting. Undercarriage lighting for the driver's side assist step, but then also for the full-length assist steps alongside the patio side. So we're going to go ahead and cover everything that's up on the roof. Jeffrey, I'll follow you up the stairs if that's okay. So atop the Paseo, you can see the roof rack system with the cross rails, braces that are included. We actually attach the 100-watt ZAMP solar system directly to those cross braces. To the rear then you can see the ladder that has the multi-point attachment points alongside the driver's side and then also to the rear. We do have the capability of adding up to 450 watts of solar. Now, the only challenge is going to be the amount of real estate that you have up top there. So depending upon how much you're going to use that MaxxAir premium vent system, and also depending upon how obtrusive you're willing to have that stick up over the windshield, we can add additional solar panels. We do also have the quick connect alongside the patio side that you can add an additional portable solar panel to. So the system is designed to hold up to 450 watts, and it just depends on how creative you'd like us to get in terms of adding additional solar. The nice thing about having the two AGM absorbed glass mat batteries, they're maintenance free, but also they do have extended amp hours compared to wet cell batteries. So what we have found in our experience is people tend to overstate how much solar they think they need. So what we've always recommended to people from a conservative standpoint is to experiment with the RV, utilize it, see if you need additional solar, because in a lot of cases people tend to overstate that. But again, the system is designed to hold up to 450 watts through a standard ZAMP solar controller that's included on the Paseo. Also, while we're up here, we'll cover the rest of the components that are up on the roof. To the left of the solar system, you'll actually see the King Control fixed mast local off-air antenna. Also the 13.5 high-efficiency air conditioning system. The MaxxAir premium vent system then is just forward of that. That is an automatic thermostatically controlled 12-volt powered ventilator fan that also includes the rain hood. So you can leave the vehicle unoccupied, and even in inclement weather, it's going to keep the insides dry. Also, while we're down here, we can also cover how expansive that 13-foot Colorado Carefree awning is. That's the freestyle awning. It also includes a vibration sensor so that if the awning does get subject to high winds, it'll actually self-retract. You can adjust the pitch points to allow one of the two ends to be slightly lower, and then it includes the LED light strip that you saw and you can see reflecting off of the Paseo side. Also up on the rooftop is where the Sirius XM satellite radio cup antenna is located for satellite radio inside that Ford Sync 3 system. What did I miss down there? Any questions on the roof? Okay.
I think the next thing is people are just generally across Winnebago's B-van lineup now, kind of pricing comparisons to Era and Travato and Paseo, as well as just pros and cons of the lineup, how we would position those.
Yeah, so really in terms of the lineup, the strategy goes that we're going to start with the Winnebago Travato, and then the Paseo will sandwich in nicely between the Travato and the Winnebago Touring Coach Era, with that including some of the higher price points, especially with that Mercedes-Benz chassis. Both the Travato and the Paseo are B-van gasoline-powered segments. One of the primary differences between the two is going to be in that powertrain, but then also in floor plan availability. Most of the core components are shared between the Travato and the Paseo, and even now so in many of the components within the Era. So a lot of it comes down to how much torque you think you may need. The torque levels are quite a bit different. The Travato being at 260, the Paseo being at 400, and then that Mercedes-Benz diesel being at 325. So just depends on kind of what your traveling plans are, and then what type of powertrain you really prefer.
And for passenger seating, this is pretty nice.
It is. It actually has 6 safety belts inside, 4 in the rear and 2 up front, and then also an expansive dinette area that converts into either single sleeping alongside the patio side or making it down into the bed, as Reed demonstrated for us earlier.
We see more and more people utilizing these B-vans as another mode of transportation, whether it's for even younger families or professional families that are doing Saturday volleyball tournaments and baseball tournaments and all of that, and you can really travel nicely in these. So, operationally, can you swivel the cab seats?
You can swivel the passenger seat only in the vehicle, not the driver's seat, and that is actually a Ford Transit limitation because of where the emergency brake does not collapse all the way down. So again, that is, if you just want to go ahead and show that, Jeffrey, that is a Ford Transit limitation that we have. So the passenger seat does swivel to become an integral lounge chair. in conjunction with this pull-out flip-up table, which again does not exist in the Coachman CrossFit. Great cabinetry inside. Winnebago hand designs all of this cabinetry utilizing computer-aided design, so that not only can we maximize interior storage, we can minimize tolerances and fit and finish. We do all of this in-house utilizing computer-aided design. 2 different cabinetry is available. The sienna maple that you see here, and then also the washed maple that's included. We do utilize Corian countertops and many of the same features within the galley that you see across the Travato and the Air lineup.
Any more floor plans coming soon on the Paseo?
Yeah, so the question was, are there any other floor plans coming? I'm certain that there are. I've heard it's probably at least a year off before we're going to see an additional floor plan out of the Paseo, so probably sometime in the latter part of the 2017 calendar year.
That's all I have for questions at the moment.
So great questions today. One thing that I would recommend all of you to do is be sure to check out the actual vehicle listings page on our website on lichtsinn.com, where we actually do have a full-length high-definition video. Rather than covering all that detail today, we really just wanted to cover questions that are relevant to our guests. So we appreciate all those questions. If you have any other questions, be sure to chat those in. Otherwise, be sure to check out that vehicle listings page, where we actually have, Jeffrey, probably 85 to 100 photos, a wonderful high-definition video, the window sticker to this particular coach, which will show the weights and measures. It'll show all the detailed specs that you need. It'll show the cargo carrying capacity, with this being at 1,940 pounds. So great questions today. I also want to thank Don and Linda. They're purchasing this coach. They're coming from San Diego, and they'll be here on Friday. So safe travels to you all, and also want to thank you all for joining us today, where we covered the all-new 2017 Winnebago Touring Coach Paseo 48P. Again, with this type of a format, remember, we can do this at any point in time in the comfort of your own home or office with any of our factory-trained consultants, where we can cover anything on our in-stock RVs in a split second by going live on high definition right here on our website. So again, I want to thank you all for joining us today, where again we covered the 2017 Paseo from Winnebago Industries.